Hi Healing Together, I'm Val and I'm back with another update on my journey with Starecta. I'm also going to use this video as a sort of baseline for before I start this next treatment that I am about to begin in just a few days, which I'll tell you about that in just a minute. But first I just wanted to start by showing you guys my rectifier because I didn't have it in my first video and a lot of people ask what is Starecta and what is this rectifier thing. So here it is. And they can vary a little bit in appearance depending on the type of base that you use. I got this base or dental splint, dental guard from proteethguard.com. That was just the easiest option for me because I didn't have a dentist or a laboratory that could help me with this. And then this white material here is I use something called polymorph, but you have a variety of options. I chose polymorph because it's cheap and it's very easy to work with. It's not specifically intended for dental use, but from what I read and as far as I understand it, it is non-toxic. And this material that you add and how you add it is what transforms a simple guard or dental splint into a rectifier. So using the Starecta method, I added this material for dental height and also to capture the cusps of the specific teeth that you're trying to have make contact. So there you go. The update is that I did continue using my rectifier, but I also started, reading and paying attention to some of the other things aside just from dental height that can cause issues in the spine and in the cranial balance. And I read about everything from sphenoid torsion to, issues with maxillary development, and tongue posture and all these things, and just trying to figure out how it all tongue tie and how it all ties together. And the tongue really seems to be at the root of so much for a lot of people. And so I started also reading and following some of the videos by Drs. John and Mike Myo, and started learning about myofacial exercises and things like that, tongue stretches, facial stretches, and practicing tongue posture, which at first was so hard. I started that in February, but even though I still don't have proper resting tongue posture, which is what helps support the development of the maxilla and the cranial bones and the spine, even though that's still not natural for me to have that, it's much easier for me to do the tongue exercises and get my tongue to the roof of my mouth where it's supposed to be. And I think since doing that, because I've been very, very diligent about it since about February, it has widened my palate a little bit and it has brought my maxilla forward some. I don't have any way to measure down to like the fraction of a millimeter or anything like that, so I can't give you exact numbers or proof in that way, but I have been photographing. I'm actually due to take some new photographs, so I'm hoping eventually it will show up in pictures. You'll be able to see the changes. And let's see what else. I also started cranial adjustments called CATS adjustments, which stands for Cranial Adjustment Turner Style, which was developed by Dr. Roger Turner, I believe is his name, in Canada. And there was a practitioner in my area, so I've been doing that once a week, and then I upped to twice a week for a few months, and now I'm just back to once a week, and it's been awesome. It hasn't, I don't think, caused any noticeable lasting changes with like the asymmetries in my face and these other things that indicate there's still a lot of imbalance, but in the short term it was making changes, and I thought for a while that it was really correcting some of these facial asymmetries with my cheekbones and my brow bone and that. And so I'd come home from my adjustments and I would photograph and I would notice there was a progression and improvements, but then after a while I realized that a couple days after the adjustment, it would kind of go back. So, and not that it was even correcting it completely to begin with, but just seeing those changes was pretty exciting. And while some of those changes weren't sustained, there was some other lasting changes for me, which was improvement in some of my neurological symptoms, which is pretty huge for me. to the point that I was able to drive the car. I usually can drive home from my CATS adjustments, which is exciting for me because due to neurological symptoms, I haven't been able to drive in about 7 years. So regaining that, even just for a window of time, is pretty remarkable for me. I do feel like it's helped with getting better flow to and from my head. I've had actually quite a few kind of episodes of detox reaction after the CATS adjustments, which I always get through just fine, but it's interesting, you know, feeling that. And the CATS adjustments are super gentle, and they just actually make me feel good. I feel like they help boost my mood, and I just feel better all around. So I'm continuing to get them, even though it doesn't seem to be the answer or at the root of my problem. I think what is more at the root of my problem is my tilted and underdeveloped maxilla, which probably, I mean, could have originated from my tongue for sure. I don't know if there's more to it than that, but excuse me, after much research and reading and talking to other patients, there's a few methods of correcting some of these imbalances and underdevelopments. Of course, the tongue work is super important, and I feel like that supports everything. That's kind of the base for everything. But to get the additional help, I have decided to pursue a neuromuscular dentist trained by Dr. Clayton Chan. You can visit Dr. Chan's website at occlusionalconnections.com, I believe. And people are having improvements using other methods as well, but I just felt very drawn to Dr. Chan's method. I like how incredibly precise it is, and it just felt like a right fit for me. So hopefully in the coming months I'll be able to give you some updates on that. I start that next week, so we'll see how it goes. There was one other thing that I've done in the last few months, and that was to use this other device. Sorry, it's like dripping with peroxide here. Here we go. This is the Myo Munchie, and this is supposed to help with maxillary development as well. Of course, like with any of this, it's most effective in developing faces, so the younger people. But I do feel like it's helped, and I feel like it's just kind of enhanced what the tongue posture exercises do already. If I use this for about 20 minutes and then do the tongue posture exercises, I just feel like they're more effective. So that is that. I currently do not use my rectifier that often, to be honest, and I can tell that it's definitely, the curvature in my spine is slowly coming back. I didn't have any type of like major collapsing situation like some people have talked about, but I am noticing that just slowly, you know, the curvature in my spine feels worse again. I'm getting that tightness in the different areas of my back and my spine. But the reason that I slowed down with it is, and this is all hypothesis, I don't know, but getting that initial dental height was a huge boost for my body, and it helped so much. It was amazing. And it's definitely a part of the puzzle. And I think my body at that time was just so eager to balance itself and to heal that just having the height alone was doing really wonderful things. But once that was established and I had that base, it almost felt like my body was getting picky about it, to the point that like I just could not get a precise enough registration no matter how many times I tried on the rectifier. It was just constantly giving me, you know, pinched nerves in my neck and different things, and I don't think that's anything at fault or lacking with the Starecta method. I just think that these type of healing the structure happens in phases, and Starecta was great for that initial phase for me, and for my body and what my body needs. And then once that was established, like I said, I think my body was picking up on more cell nuances and, you know, getting a little more demanding and telling me what it wanted, but I couldn't quite provide it with the rectifier. I've tried, and I'm going to continue trying. It may be something I still can do, although the neuromuscular approach that I'll be pursuing provides a mouth guard as well that you're supposed to wear. And like I said, it's more precise. They're using computers and very advanced technology to measure, so I don't know what that means. I don't know if my Starecta journey has officially come to a close or if it's something I'll continue to use in the future. But regardless, I'm super grateful because it gave me a solid foundation. It did give me a lot of relief at a time when I could not have traveled to go to any type of specialist. It really was the best option for me being stuck at home, and it did help me a lot, and it opened the door to all these other really important discoveries that are affecting my structural balance. So I'm incredibly grateful to Starecta, and I think I'm watching it do amazing things for other people. My journey is just leading me in another direction for now. We'll see how that goes. We'll see what's around that corner. But that's it. That's my update for you. I'm looking forward to giving you more updates soon. Be well.